Susie Walker here. Hello, it's Susie Walker here from Psychologies magazine. Our new issue is out with a wonderful ruby wax on our cover, talking about mindfulness and all the reasons we have to be grateful and to look forward to the future. She's written a fantastic new book all about looking towards the future and all the amazing things that people are doing. I know it is a totally grim morning, Monday morning this morning. So it's a very special Monday morning motivation this morning. I know we've just heard about our new lockdown and it should be happening on Thursday. So today I wanted to ask the question, as I do every Monday morning, we ask one different question every day about working on our lives rather than in our lives. Most of us are constantly, or if you're anything like me, reacting to what's happening, coming in, rather than kind of getting still and being able to respond to what's happening. And today I want us to consider the question of how are you going to support yourself and how can we support others during lockdown, during this week, during the next few days even. Many of us have a very critical, punishing voice that goes on in our head constantly. We call it inner critic, inner pessimist, and we want to find ways to short circuit that critical voice and find new and different ways to really, I want to say, how can you support yourself, mind, body, and soul? How can we create a way of consciously creating different techniques, different skill sets, all of those things to make yourself feel good? So Psychologies, it may be locked down, but we want you to unlock your potential. All you have to do is subscribe and you can get all of these videos for free with lots of courses, lots of brilliant things going on. So a big plug there. But, you don't have to be alone. You can learn the skills to survive and thrive this time. And it's about focusing our attention on what we can do and what, there's a lot of things we can't do right now, but what we can do. So I just wanted to give you some the top tips that, scientifically proven that have been can help you support yourself and can support others. First thing is getting some perspective in terms of this will end. It's a really rough time. It's a really difficult time, and there's a lot of fear in the air. What does this mean? What does it mean for our livelihoods? What does it mean for our loved ones? But this will end eventually. They will find some kind of antidote, and we will get through this, and we'll come out the other end. So the one thing that we do have control over is how we can support ourselves and how we can learn the skills of resilience. I don't know if you saw some of the videos last week, but we had Jason Fox, who's an SAS, commando, who's now on, I think, on Channel 4 program, but he was talking all about how they learn resilience. It's not something you're born with, it's something that you learn. So you can learn this thing. So perspective is really great in terms of the first piece is, this will end. We're going to get to the other side of this. Another thing to connect with, which you will really be able to support, we talk mind, body, soul, is awe, AWE. How can you connect with some awe in your life? So again, it's about pulling ourselves out of, oh my God, this is really awful. I feel scared. I feel everything's so uncertain, to go, okay, let's just look at the stars. Let's go out in nature and just walk in a tree and just go and go and hug a tree. No, go and connect with nature in some way and think about the trees that have been there for hundreds and hundreds of years and they've weathered the storms. And if you can connect in some way with something larger than you, to the fabric of the world, then it may help you gain a different perspective. One piece I would also say around our emotional health, how you can support yourself emotionally, is connection. How can you connect with others? So how can you, going forward, how can you have a new emotional check-in regime in the morning, in the evening, with the family, with a Skype call, with your friends? If you're looking down on your own, that can be very difficult. So how can you make sure that you're talking to people every day? If you're locking down, or you're worried about your parents or your grandparents who might be locked down, how can you support them in terms of connection? What can you set up for them? Can you send them, you know, a Skype link or a Zoom link or something that all they have to do is click on it, and then you connect once a month, once a day, whatever it is. Connection is one of the things that the scientists have proven over and over again, which will make us feel more connected, happier, more loved. The worst thing is to feel alone. The thing around this pandemic is no one is exempt. Everyone is affected by this. So how can we reach out to each other and support one another? Let's look at our neighbors, to our friends, to strangers. How can we do one kind act a day? What's the one thing that you could do differently? One kind act, that's what I'm asking, to do something differently that can support other people, rather than, I think there's a lot of press around people panic buying, and let's have compassion for those people. Those people who are panic buying are actually really scared. So how can we be a force for good in the world, each and every one of us, and bring the kind of temperature down a little bit of how can we give rather than take? How can we, exhibit kindness rather than cruelty? How can we do that? So, what does that look like in a very practical way? It might be that you might have a very grumpy neighbor. So could you, drop down a plant cutting? We've got some apples that are falling around in my neighbor's garden at the moment. So I could, maybe I could collect the apples and I could make a juice. I don't know. There's a million ways of helping other people that doesn't cost you any money. The other piece that is a really good question to sort of start asking yourself, which will support yourself, is what's your purpose? How can you use this time to really drill down about what makes you happy? What are your values on a day-to-day? So, as we close our doors, it's a great time to just go within and to ask yourself on a day-to-day level, what are the things that make my heart leap? Who are the people that make my heart leap? Where are the environments that make our heart leap? I know we covered that a little bit in our Monday Morning Motivated last week. What are the things that are going to light you up from the inside out? And you'll notice that it might be the television programs you're watching, the magazines that you read. What are the things that are actually making you feel good? So how can you focus more on the things that make you feel good rather than the things that make you feel rotten? What I would encourage all of us to do is one kind thing a day. How do we support ourselves and others? Kindness. We have our kindness czar, Dr. David Hamilton, who does our regular monthly Facebook lives with us. And he has studied the science of why kindness will not only transform your life, but transform other people's lives too. So what is a one kind act that you can take for yourself rather than beating yourself up? How can you treat yourself, whether it's just making yourself a cup of tea or a warm bath or creating a lovely meal for yourself? How can you support yourself and others this week and this month throughout lockdown? Psychologies magazine, we have the Life Leap Club, which is for subscribers. Do join us. There are videos there for everything from how to declutter your house to how to become more resilient. There are free courses, every month that we put something in. So if you want to learn, unlock your potential in this lockdown period, then do join us. Do subscribe to Psychologies. The links are below. Lots of love. Thank you to the Hoffman Process, who have kindly sponsored our video this week. Lots of love and have a great day. Bye bye.